Caitlyn Jenner has unleashed a scathing attack on the Kardashian family.
She's a part of this documentary called House of Kardashian.
Kimberly calculated from the beginning, how do I become famous?
She did whatever she could to become famous.
Caitlyn Jenner was just yapping her mouth away about Kim and the sex tape.
It's just hella shady.
Caitlyn Jenner is on Kim Kardashian's list. Caitlyn thought it would be a good idea to go and speak to the press about the Ray J scandal. She claims that Kim planned her fame and that the tape was calculated for controversy. So let's get into it. At this point, we all know that Kim Kardashian used Ray J's name and their intimate tape to skyrocket her fame with the help of her mother, Kris Jenner. This is something the Kardashians tried to ignore, but in this new special House of Kardashians, Caitlyn Jenner spills the beans on exactly how Kim and Kris calculated their way to fame. We're gonna see old and new footage of this family, and it paints a very different picture on how calculated everything has been.
Caitlyn Jenner, like, I couldn't be rolling my eyes more. So Caitlyn Jenner is she's a part of this documentary called House of Kardashian. And I guess it's to talk about how the Kardashians became famous, made a name for themselves. It doesn't seem like it's a positive thing. It's more like in a negative light. And Caitlyn Jenner is just yapping her mouth away about Kim and the sex tape and all that. Why? Feels so unnecessary, but clearly she got paid.
I think Kylie and Kendall try and keep a relationship with Caitlyn, have a relationship with Caitlyn.
Right, well, because that's their dad.
Yeah,
and
well, that's what I'm saying. So
Caitlyn then makes it hard when she's going to talk about the rest of the family.
Yep, and it's also their mom.
Right.
It's all their mom.
Yeah.
And when Caitlyn has negative things to say about Kris, I'm sure they don't love that.
I will be interested in seeing what she says, like, fully.
It does seem like Caitlyn doesn't necessarily fit in with the rest of the family, and there have been ample times where she has gone off and spoken about the family in a negative light. Yet this film is supposed to reveal a lot more, and it seems like Caitlyn isn't holding back, so I'm sure Kim Kardashian and Kris are pissed. In the first trailer, we learned that Caitlyn says that Kim calculated fame from the beginning. Caitlyn was quoted saying, "Kimberly calculated from the beginning. How do I become famous?" And ultimately, they felt like this tape with Ray J was their way to create controversy and to get attention on the family. While Caitlyn doesn't necessarily talk badly about the show and their experience on the show, they really just felt like they were another character in Kris Jenner's plan. And if you know Kris Jenner, you know that she always has a plan. In the documentary, an unnamed female voice says that Kris wanted to be more than just a housewife. In another voiceover, someone was quoted saying that most people fall into two camps, either wanting to talk about the globally famous family or thinking that they ruined the world.
Kris wanted to be more than just a housewife.
Kimberly calculated from the beginning, how do I become famous?
The sex tape was a means to an end. It was to create a controversy.
What was it like working with your wife?
I doubt that Caitlyn asked for anyone's approval to do this documentary, and it's pretty shameful because usually this family sticks together, but there's always one person out of the bunch who wants to run to the media and tell them the truth, and it really just destroys this idea that the family has painted for themselves. I mean, you guys saw how Kim reacted when her son came across an advertisement of her tape, so she's super bothered by the situation. I just think that Caitlyn feels like this is her opportunity to talk because everything that she has done prior was so overly filtered through the family and through E! Entertainment.
In a recent development that has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, Caitlyn Jenner has unleashed a scathing attack on the Kardashian family, specifically taking aim at Kim Kardashian. The controversial former Olympian is set to appear in an upcoming documentary series titled House of Kardashian, where she and other participants will reveal long-held Kardashian secrets. This explosive expose promises to provide a never-before-seen glimpse into the inner workings of one of the world's most famous families. In a jaw-dropping trailer released on YouTube, the 73-year-old reality star can be seen passionately voicing her opinions about her family. With a mixture of disdain and frustration, she declares, "You're kind of in one of two camps. I want to talk about them or they've ruined the world." An insider revealed that the show will present Caitlyn's unique insider perspective, accompanied by exclusive interviews and never-before-seen footage of the Kardashian clan.
The creator of this documentary was quoted saying, "As a filmmaker, you might question what is left to reveal about the Kardashian Jenners, arguably one of the most famous and overly exposed families in Hollywood. Through our interviews, those who have been in the family's circle since the beginning uncover their personal motivations and explore how a changing culture allowed their influence on women and around the world to thrive. One reason why Kim and her family's stardom shot so high is because of that scandalous video she made with rapper Ray J in Mexico back in 2003. Frances says, "It is true. That is something that was very well calculated and coordinated by me and Kim, and it worked." Frances, who was dating Kim's older sister Courtney at the time, claimed that Kim asked his assistant to set up a proper office meeting with him, but wouldn't disclose why. He said, "I thought that was just weird." Which we have seen Ray J speak out against this situation, saying that there were contracts and deals signed, so it's not like this tape was leaked. It was sold and published. Frances says, "But she approached me and said, 'Joe, I know you helped Paris Hilton,' Frances's ex-girlfriend, 'and I want to be famous, and this is what I want to do.' He told her absolutely not, and that the fame wasn't what she thought it would be. It's just problems. But he said he would only help her with it if the whole family was on board. He said, 'The reason why I finally come forward with this is because, you know what? I was tired of all the rumors out there.' One of those rumors, which Frances said has always bugged him and he wanted to clear up, was that Kim's mother, Kris Jenner, was the one who orchestrated the whole thing. He says that this was all me and really Kim. We brought Ray J into it later, and we brought Kim into my office and all the contracts were signed. So I was the guy responsible." And it actually seems like when they started this whole conversation, the tape itself wasn't completed. They filmed part of it and then filmed another part later on. Quote, "Most of the tape was done. You know, a little bit was created afterwards." Frances also claims that he never told the family he was going to do this interview. Quote, "I haven't had a conversation with them. You're getting the exclusive right now, the first interview." And while the X-rated film has made the family a lot of money, both directly and indirectly, Frances confirmed that it was worthwhile agreeing to do it. Quote, "I can't talk about any contracts with the family, but I am very well compensated."
Notice this man looked quite familiar in the video. This guy. And I was like, is that Joe Francis, Kim's friend, whose house she always used to go to in Mexico? Remember that gorgeous villa she always take photos of? And in fact, it was him in that video. And I was like, why is he a part of this expose? By the way, I googled Joe Francis Mexican villa, you know, just to ensure it was the place that Kim always used to post photos on her Instagram of. And yes, it said Joe Francis loses rights to Mexican estate. I did not know that, and People Magazine posted about it, so I guess it's legit. But anyways, so curious as to why a friend of hers would be a part of this expose. It just seems like super shady, and we all know how the Kardashian girlies really value loyalty in their friends. And it's like, they would definitely nix him for doing this. But then I googled about their friendship. Kim's big mistake. Joe Francis, latest Kim Kardashian standby documentary director for, quote, no integrity due to friendship with the Sun posted this. And then it only makes sense, like, that he would throw her under the bus like that. I don't know, maybe he needed to check or something. Just something that, like, a, you know, sleazy type of person would do, especially when he's bringing up that very personal moment of hers way back early in her career before she was a mogul, you know, about the video. It's just hella shady.
So now a lot of these people in this documentary are receiving backlash, especially from the Kardashians, but Caitlyn is now trying to walk back everything. And I'm sure Caitlyn is not invited to Thanksgiving this year because Caitlyn is claiming that she didn't mean to shame Kim K when she claims that Kim was calculated. While it seemed like a dig, sources close to Caitlyn tell TMZ that her use of the word calculated wasn't the best choice, but it's already been relayed to Kim and that she didn't mean it as a diss.
The only question I have for that is that really news? Like, why were people outraged by that? Kim has said time and time again, by like herself, that yes, she did whatever she could to become famous. She organized closets. She was Paris Hilton's assistant. She made a tape. She put that all out there because she knew she wanted to be famous. I get that people, and trust me, I am not a Caitlyn Jenner fan. I don't like Caitlyn Jenner. And I get that's why people are more outraged because of who said it. It's not what Caitlyn Jenner said. It's just because she's Caitlyn Jenner. If it was serious, Kim would have made some type of statement. Kris, maybe. Khloe would have went off if this wasn't true, but it is. And Kim has said that since day one of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And for those of you who don't believe me, go back and look up like old paparazzi interviews with Kim Kardashian. She literally talks to them about getting her good side and making sure she's in the spotlight.
Now, I agree with that partly, but I also understand that Ray J was legally threatening this family earlier on, claiming that, Chris did have a big part in this and that he was blindsided by it all. So if she did admit to this calculation, then she could be admitting to what Ray J is accusing her of, and she could ultimately get in legal trouble for that. Nonetheless, Caitlyn Jenner doesn't have any creative control here. So if she said it, they're going to put it out there. So I feel like she maybe went on to speak the truth, and now she's getting in trouble for saying a little too much. Supposedly all is good and well between Caitlyn and Kim, but there's definitely some tension here. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't trust, Caitlyn if she went on to speak about me and my family in this way without giving me a heads up. Representatives for Caitlyn and Kim did not immediately speak to the press and give a comment, so they're probably trying to let this one slide. But either way, this documentary is coming out, and I think Ray J is going to have a little bit more justice in this, because if you guys have not seen my video about him talking about the contracts and exposing it all, there's a lot of shadiness there. So definitely go and check out that video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.